Egypt were 20 minutes away from the biggest result in the history of African football. Egypt had beaten Australia in the round of 32. Egypt had dominated the defending world champions for nearly an hour at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, on July 7, 2026. Egypt had scored through Mostafa Ziko in the 15th minute. Egypt had just scored again in the 58th minute. A stunning length-of-the-pitch breakaway that started with Mohamed Salah collecting the ball inside his own half, skipping past two Argentina players, and sliding a perfect pass to Ziko, cutting in from the opposite wing. Ziko arrived at full pace, took one touch, and fired the ball past Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez into the net. Egypt 2-0 Argentina, 32 minutes remaining, at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, in front of a global audience of hundreds of millions. Mostafa Ziko tore his shirt off at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta and ran toward the corner flag. The Egyptian bench cleared. Egypt's substitutes, coaches, and staff were on their feet. The greatest result in Egypt's football history was 32 minutes from completion. FIFA stepped in. What happened in the next 4 minutes at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, on July 7, 2026, is the moment that has broken the 2026 FIFA World Cup wide open. Not a controversial tackle, not a missed penalty, not a VAR review of something that happened inside the penalty area, or on the goal line, or in the immediate build-up to a goal. VAR official Jerome Brizard rewound the footage 20 seconds at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, 20 seconds before Mostafa Ziko had even touched the ball, 20 seconds before Mohamed Salah had even begun his run, to a moment on the far side of the pitch where Egypt midfielder Marwan Adia and Argentina defender Lisandro Martinez had become physically entangled during a loose ball contest. Jerome Brizard flagged the contact as a foul. Referee Francois Letexier was called to the pitch-side monitor at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Letexier reviewed the footage, and Egypt's 2-0 lead was erased from the scoreboard. Egypt's goal, celebrated, confirmed, standing on the board for several minutes, was disallowed for a foul that occurred on the opposite side of the pitch that the referee himself had watched in real time and chosen not to call. That took place 20 seconds and approximately 100 yards from where the ball crossed the goal line. The football world stopped to understand why the VAR decision at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia on July the 7th, 2026 caused the reaction it did. From broadcasters, from former referees, from the Egyptian Football Association, and from football fans across every continent. You need to understand what VAR was actually created to do. The International Football Association Board introduced VAR at the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia with a single, clearly defined purpose. VAR was designed to correct clear and obvious errors in 4 specific categories: goals, penalty decisions, red card incidents, and cases of mistaken identity. The IFAB's guidelines on VAR are not vague. They are written. They state that VAR should intervene only when a clear and obvious error has been made. They state that borderline decisions, calls that could go either way, should not be reviewed. They state that the subjective judgment of a referee in real time should be respected unless the error is unambiguous. VAR, official Jerome Brizard's intervention at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, was not a review of a clear and obvious error. What Jerome Brizard reviewed was a soft, physical challenge on the far side of the pitch that referee Francois Letexier had watched in real time and assessed as not worthy of a free kick. By flagging that contact 20 seconds later, after Egypt had scored, Brizard did not correct a clear and obvious error. Brizard overruled a referee's deliberate, conscious, real-time judgment about a borderline physical challenge. Rob Green, The former England goalkeeper and Fox Sports analyst broadcasting live at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta could not conceal his reaction on air. "Surely, this is not within VAR's realm to review this," Green said. "It's a full length of the pitch away." Green continued. "The referee saw the tackle. The referee decided not to give it. And Egypt, with a brilliant breakaway goal, have been denied a 2-goal cushion. That, 100 yards away, someone stepping on someone's toe, is not why VAR was brought into the game. We have reached far beyond the powers that VAR should have." Mark Clattenburg, the former Premier League and Champions League referee and Fox Sports officiating expert, delivered the verdict that has since been shared across football media worldwide. "This challenge is not consistent with the way referees have been refereeing this tournament," Clattenburg said after the incident at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta. "They have been allowing physical challenges. They have been allowing physical contact. You can argue this is not a foul at all, and certainly this is not a VAR intervention when the referee has already made his call on the field. It is a very subjective decision. It is not a clear foul." Clattenburg then identified what VAR had actually done at Atlanta Stadium. VAR was looking at something too deeply, looking for something that happened in the game to try to cancel the Egypt goal. Ian Darke, the veteran broadcaster who has covered more World Cups for British and American television than almost anyone in the industry, put the scale of what happened in a single line posted immediately after the decision at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta. "How far back in the play does VAR go?" Darke wrote. "Back to kick off soon. The goal would have stood for 150 years prior to VAR." Egypt head coach Hassam Hassan stood in front of the world's media after the final whistle at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, and said what no international football coach has said publicly at a FIFA World Cup in recent memory. "We haven't seen respect or fair play," Hassan said. "A penalty was ruled out. A second incident that should have been checked for a penalty for us was not even checked by VAR. A second goal was, remarkably, for whatever reason, disallowed. I want to put it in beautiful words and say hard luck, but we have been treated unfairly. It has been an injustice." And then Hassam Hassan said the sentence that stopped football in its tracks. "It's all about money. They want the star to stay in the tournament. In football, many things happen off the pitch because of interests. What happened was unfair. Egypt deserved to qualify. We were the better team." Egypt forward Mostafa Ziko, the player who scored both of Egypt's goals and whose celebration at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta was cut short by Jerome Brizard's intervention, did not use diplomatic language either. "It was a rigged game," Ziko said after the match. "We were winning 2-0, and everything kept going against us. I don't even know why the second goal was disallowed. I don't see any reason for it." The Egyptian Football Association filed a formal complaint with FIFA within hours of the final whistle at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Egyptian FA President Hani Abu Rida called for the referee and the entire officiating crew to be excluded from the remainder of the 2026 World Cup. Abu Rida alleged discrimination against Egypt. The Egyptian FA's statement pointed to 2 separate incidents: the disallowed goal at the 59th minute and a penalty claim involving Mohamed Salah in the build-up to Argentina's winner that VAR chose not to review. That second detail, the Mohamed Salah penalty claim, is the one that transforms the Egypt VAR controversy at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta from a single questionable decision into something that requires a much harder question to be asked about consistency. In the final minutes of the Argentina versus Egypt match at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia on July 7, 2026, Mohamed Salah was moving toward Argentina's penalty area when he was brought down by contact from from an Argentina defender. Salah went to ground. The contact was visible on replays. Mohamed Salah believed it was a penalty. Egypt believed it was a penalty. Multiple broadcasters watching the incident noted the contact in real time. VAR did not review it. Referee François Letexier waved play on. Argentina broke immediately on the counterattack from that unchecked incident and scored the winning goal, completing a comeback from 2-0 down to win 3-2 in stoppage time. VAR went back 20 seconds to disallow Egypt's goal for a soft challenge 100 yards from goal. VAR did not go back 5 seconds to review clear contact on Mohamed Salah in the penalty area in the build-up to Argentina's winner. Both incidents happened in the same match at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, within 15 minutes of each other. That contrast. Intervene here, do not intervene there. One goes against Egypt, one protects Argentina. UN is what transformed a football controversy into a diplomatic incident, and it is why FIFA now faces questions about the integrity of its officiating at the 2026 World Cup that a single press statement cannot answer. Ahmad Youssef, an Egyptian football expert speaking on BBC Radio 5 live after the match at Atlanta Stadium, captured the central question the incident has raised across the global game. If that was a player in an Argentina shirt, Youssef said, the question is whether there would have been the same consistency. That is what has really aggrieved people. FIFA's response to Egypt's formal complaint has been silence. No statement addressing the specific VAR decisions. No press conference. No indication that the officiating crew will be reviewed. The same institutional silence that has greeted every major officiating controversy at the 2026 World Cup. The Balogun red card, the handball controversies, the walk-off rule enforcement, the hydration break protests, has greeted the most serious allegation any national team has made at this tournament. Egypt's coach used the word injustice. Egypt's forward used the word rigged. Egypt's Football Association filed a formal complaint, and FIFA said nothing. The 2026 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals begin on Thursday, July 10th at Foxborough Stadium in Boston, Massachusetts. 8 teams remain. Egypt are not among them. Egypt, the team that dominated the defending world champions for an hour, that scored 2 brilliant goals, that stood 2-0 ahead of Argentina with 32 minutes to play in their biggest match in history, are at home because a VAR official went back 20 seconds to a challenge on the other side of the pitch, because the referee who had chosen not to call that challenge in real time was shown footage of it on a monitor and reversed his own judgment, and because the same VAR system that intervened to cancel Egypt's goal chose not to intervene when Mohamed Salah was brought down inside the Argentina penalty area 4 minutes before the final whistle. Hossam Hassan called it an injustice. Mostafa Ziko called it rigged. The Egyptian Football Association filed a formal complaint with FIFA, and the World Cup will never be the same. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Egypt were treated fairly? And has VAR gone too far at this tournament? I want to hear both sides.